All right, that's Hard Times by the Big Boss Man. That's his entrance theme back in the early 90s, late 80s. One of his many entrance themes. This is a video here to remember the man, Ray Traylor, the Big Boss Man. This is a video that I do of many deceased wrestlers. We do this to remember. Almost everybody has heard of his name or gimmick if you think about it. He had the talent to reinvent his gimmick from a nice guy in blue to a corporate security guard in black. Bossman's real name was Ray Washington Traylor Jr. He was born May 2nd, 1963 in Marietta, Georgia, which means he shares the same birthday as The Rock. Just a little fact there. He started wrestling in 1985 under the names The Guardian Angel, Big Bubba Rogers, The Boss, and of course, The Big Boss Man. He wrestled for both the WCW and the WWF. He was one of the first and only members of the corporation in the WWF, and in WCW was even a small part of the NWO for a brief stint. He began wrestling in 1985 in Jim Crockett Promotions and as a former corrections officer from Cobb County, Georgia. He feuded with the likes of Dusty Rhodes in the 80s and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the 90s as a member of the corporate team, as well as feuding with DX during that time. During his appearances in the WWF, the Big Boss Man held the WWF Tag Team titles and the WWF Hardcore titles. He was ranked 23rd of the top 500 single wrestlers in the PWI in 1992. He was ranked 138th out of 500 singles wrestlers in PWI years in 2003. He teamed not only with Akeem the African Dream in addition to the NWO and corporate team, but he teamed as well with Ken Shamrock. He teamed with Booker T, and even John Cena in his one and only OVW match in November of 2002. Ray Traylor wrestled his last match for the WWE in 2002 in a loss to Tommy Dreamer and was officially released in early 2003. Traylor's final matches were in the International Wrestling Association of Japan, where he competed in a tournament for the vacant IWA World Heavyweight Championship. He made it to the final by defeating Freddy Krueger, but not before losing to Jim Duggan in 2004. I remember the Boss Man from my childhood, man, being intimidated and scared of him with his evil eyes and grin. I used to love his action figure, though. I always just thought it was the coolest thing back when in the early 90s, when those action figures were big rubber action figures. You couldn't move the legs or the arms. I enjoyed his time in the WWF during his second run. I thought he was an underrated part of the hardcore division. He was in the infamous Kennel from Hell match in Unforgiven 99 with Al Snow. You can look that up. Though I don't think of this memory when I think of Ray Traylor. His worst match would be with the Hell in a Cell match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 15. But his best match, as far as I'm concerned, is with Mr. Perfect at WrestleMania 7 for the IC title. That or the Twin Towers match versus the Mega Powers back on Saturday Night's Main Event in 1988. He had 2 daughters and married his high school sweetheart Angela. Traylor suffered a motorcycle accident on his Harley Davidson in May 2002 after he hit a deer and was badly injured. He spent a year recovering from his injuries, and this was just 2 months before Bret Hart also had a bike accident and as a result of a stroke around the same time. Both guys, Bret Hart and Ray Traylor, remained friends, and both were also badly affected by close friend Curt Hennig's death in February of 2003. In July 2004, Traylor unsuccessfully ran for commission chairman of Paulding County, Georgia. He was the owner of a Dallas, Georgia storage company called the RWT Enterprises after his time in wrestling. He was posthumously inducted into the Hall of Fame back in 2016 by the Doctor of Style, Slick, his former manager, where Angela and his girls Megan and Lacey accepted his Hall of Fame ring on his behalf. Traylor, though, died of a heart attack on September 22, 2004 at his home in Dallas, Georgia. Traylor and his family were visiting with his sister at the time at his home while his daughters went upstairs to play. His wife, Angela, briefly left the room at about 10 p.m. and returned to find him unresponsive on the couch. He had suffered a heart attack on the sofa. Ray Traylor was just 41 years old. So often we forget those who have passed because we're so busy with those of today. I think it's always important to remember those who have gone, those who have entertained us during our childhood, who are a big part of our lives. I hope I can be just a small part of keeping Ray Traylor's memory alive with this video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe if you wish, but sound off in the comment section below about your memories with the Big Boss Man. And with tributes like this, we as fans can and will always remember.